All right, welcome to the Money on Steroids podcast again. Today we're talking about a very special topic, a topic that, is creating some fear, some excitement, but really a lot of fear, which is artificial intelligence. And I thought that you, Taki, because you are, in the IT world, you have better knowledge about what's happening, you would be the best guest for this. So we're co-hosting, but you will be leading the information in this podcast. So welcome again, my friend.
Thank you.
So AI. First question, Taki. Should we fear artificial intelligence?
Yes. Yes, we should fear artificial intelligence for a lot of reasons. I will just start by the basic one, which is we don't know what we're doing on artificial intelligence. Like in the first time in history, humankind is doing something that does not fully understand and pushing this at a very, very high scale. When I say we don't understand AI, I mean that AI today is a tool that has been trained on a lot of data. And usually we had computers, and computers, we tell them a prompt, like you need to do ABC, and it's going to do ABC. AI is different. AI will use the same capabilities of the brain in order to ingest a tremendous amount of data, and it will train itself to have the answer. So why this is different is today when you type a prompt on ChatGPT and you see the answer, the guy who created ChatGPT is not able to tell you why it told you this answer.
Okay.
So for centuries, the humankind, each time they created a machine or they create the medicine or they created anything new, they knew exactly how to reverse engineer it. But today, we don't know how to reverse engineer the informations that are produced by AI. And I think this is very important. A lot of people are talking about it right now. There is a book written by the old CEO of Google, I think, Schmidt and Kissinger, as a co-author.
What's the title of this book?
It's Genesis.
Genesis, yeah.
Genesis. Yeah. And this book actually explains very well why all the nations around the world are kind of afraid that one superpower has the ultimate AI, because I told you that we have stages in AI. We started with the writers, they just write stuff that they read somewhere and they just made them a little bit better. After that, you had the thinkers, and after that, you will have the agents, and after that, you will have the discoverers or the innovators.
So would the 4.0 model of ChatGPT, would that be the writer?
Yeah, they are writers with different capabilities. Now the 1.0 is the thinker.
Yeah.
It thinks. After that, you will have agents. Agents will be doing small tasks that a human being can do. And that's what we will be talking about, why you should fear maybe AI today. If you don't have a job that needs a lot of human capabilities, and we will talk about human capabilities later that AI maybe cannot do like us. So when you arrive to the innovators, the code will be written by AI. So you will have the machine writing its own code and correcting it over time. And human beings are only going to give the direction and the goal that the AI will be pursuing. And we already discovered that AI can lie. We already discovered that AI can alter its code to make an exception for itself. For example, when you will say the AI, okay, make me a table without exceeding 2 meters by 2 meters. If the AI will see that it's not possible, they can change their code and their prompt at some point to cheat. So what will happen if you let the AI lead armies, or that can go out of control very, very fast? And you can go and search on Google that China and the United States agreed that they will take out all AI from leading the nuclear bombs, because they can nuke the world. Like if this is the solution to win, they will nuke it. So because they don't fear, they don't have emotions. So you can see that it's disturbing. Like when you deep dive a little bit in this new technology, it's not like just another new technology. It's something really, really changing the shape of humanity as we never saw before. And that's why Elon Musk said that we need maybe to pause a little bit on AI, because the world is not ready for that. And when I tell people you're not ready for AI, like they think that I'm exaggerating and like I'm just over reacting to it. I think it's a real threat to economy, to everything we knew before.
Yeah. So you're mentioning that AI can lie. Definitely, we've seen this. AI can alter its code. That has been proven. We've seen also AIs being trained. Was that the Microsoft one that was trained on something and then it became racist over time?
Yeah.
Was it the Microsoft one?
I don't remember, but yes, it happened too.
So yeah, because they're trained, and then when you connect them to the internet and they start seeing whatever is happening to the internet, they take that train and then they start leading that. And I've also seen AIs interacting between themselves and creating languages
between them
that human cannot understand.
Yes.
So imagine that. So that in a war, for example, like World War II, if someone could crack that language between armies, that crypted language, they would win the war. There's a movie about that.
Yeah, Turbine. It's about the Enigma machine.
Yeah. So if we as humans cannot crack that code,
Alan Turing.
Yes.
Alan Turing.
Right.
Yes.
So if we as humans cannot crack that code, there's definitely something around us that can take control, that can do whatever they want, and if we cannot understand them, like what's going to happen, right?
It's just crazy.
So you definitely think that we are at risk. Now, what is the risk? Like, is the humanity at risk, or are jobs at risk, or
everything is at risk?
Everything.
Everything is at risk. The way the world worked before is already outdated today. Like just today, it's already outdated. Like look at all the jobs you have around you. Like that they can all be replaced. They can all be done by AI at some point when it's gonna mature. Kissinger, who is a big thinker, very intelligent man, who has been around since the World War II. He has been an advisor for the biggest presidents and biggest politicians in the world. Even when he was alive, the Chinese government, like Xi, etc., they used to welcome him in China, in Beijing, and to listen to him, because he has a very good view of the world powers and the relationships countries have between each of them. This guy passed the last years of his life studying AI and studying how it can change the world. And he truly believes that AI is as important as the creation of the nuclear bomb.
Wow, in terms of impact.
In terms of impact and how it can end the world. And in terms of if a superpower has a powerful control on it, it can impose its values to the world. So today, if you talk to an AI, you will see that it's influenced by the Western's thoughts, the Western's ideas.
Right.
If China, for example, creates an AI more powerful than the American AIs, they can also start pushing their ideas and their ways of seeing the world to the humanity. So you can today, like with social media, with like that's a real battle happening. Mm-hmm. Like before, the battle was like planes and tanks, etc. Now the battle is on screens, and there is a real race today to that discover AI. Like we don't know when it's gonna come, but when it's going to come, the first superpower that has it, Kissinger said that it will be the same thing than World War II when America had the nuclear weapon before everyone else. They imposed their view of the world for the next 70 years, 80 years. Right. They just created their world order and they ruled the planet for the next 80 years. So Kissinger is saying the same thing will happen with AI.
Okay. So there is a race right now happening for any power in the world. So I guess it's between
it's China and USA.
China and USA, Russia not involved?
No, not like they are not as advanced as China and USA. And Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, went to BBC 2 years ago, and they asked him a question like, "How advanced are we on AI?" And he was very confident. He was like, "Yeah, we have like 2 years ahead."
2 years only?
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
That's a lot in the IT world. That's a lot. Yeah, okay. That's a lot. Like 2 years is really a lot, because you keep moving, and others need to
keep up,
and also go faster in order to surpass you. And he said, like we have 2 years ahead on this technology. We are in a really good shape to be the first ones that will have that superpower. And he went 1 week ago, like November 2024, to say that now we are at the same level as China. So China came back, and today they are at the same level than the United States. So there is a big war happening, and it's not for nothing. Like that's a war to the hegemony and the control of the values that are delivered to people around the world.
So it's a war of influence now.
Yes.
Influence, but also superpower, because if that AI can basically control the world, you don't need guns, you don't need tanks, you don't need airplanes anymore.
Exactly.
You just need a supercomputer.
Exactly.
That understands, that builds its own algorithms and runs the world.
Yeah, and why we are talking about this, because like we are on the Money on Steroids podcast, right? Like I think that you need just to understand that this is disturbing to everything you knew before related to money. investments will be made by robots.
Yeah.
We are already leading on on this field. You will have jobs that will disappear. You will have new industries that will just be born in the next years. So in order for you to keep up with your financial life and your financial situation, you really need to understand what are the dangers of AI, but also the opportunities of AI. Because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, like we're all gonna die, and I'm not a pessimist, but I'm a realistic person. Like I see this as a potential threat, but a lot of people, like always, will profit from it too. And
Yeah.
the reason is you need to be profiting from it. That's
Yeah.
why we're talking about it.
So how can we profit from this? So let's take some examples. Some jobs started already to be impacted. Like if you are a copywriter today, ChatGPT can do your job. Not as good, but like for like a small company, they don't need to hire humans anymore. They
Yeah.
can just take the like the paid membership for ChatGPT and then create a campaign with that. Tomorrow, what you're saying, for example, if you are an executive assistant and your job is only to book meetings and to do some research and to answer the phone and everything, once the agent AI will be live, those jobs are in danger,
They'll be
right?
gone, yeah.
You have some entry level jobs. Like people have been replaced already by machines, like in factories. Like automation has
Amazon,
yeah, like Amazon. Amazon today, they have those stores where you have RFIDs in every single product, and it's no cash, no cashier, no one else in the store.
Yeah, you just go,
you
take
go
your
in,
product,
take
yeah, go
product,
out.
it's scanned, you get and you're charged automatically. So we're seeing this already. So if today I am in my 20s and I need to find a way for me to make money in the future, but also protect myself, what would be the best approach for me?
Also, AI is replacing developers' job. Today, if you are just a developer and your major
Like
advantage-
IT developer.
yeah.
Like not like building developer.
Yeah. And,
We're not in the same industry. So.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
so yeah, like IT developers today, if your strength is to write Java code, that's going to disappear at some point. Like we don't need people to write Java code, but we will need people to think about the logic behind it. AI is not at that level
Yet.
exactly.
But it's coming.
Yeah, it can come. Like we don't know what's happening, but AI is today in 2024, early 2025, is not at the level where they can think their way through complex situations. If, for example, what you're trying to do is a basic website, like when you will just have a product, a buy button, and a checkout page, like that's very easy. Like the AI today is able to do it. But if you are developing something more complex, AI is not able to do it yet. But what I'm trying to say, it's not only like the guy, like the cashiers and the sales, like the call center people that are going to be impacted. Like even higher IQ jobs are going to be impacted. Like doctors. Like today, they passed a test to ChatGPT 1.0, and he is able to pass an exam to be a doctor in the United States. So, like, I'm not trying to diminish anyone today by saying like, oh, if you're a cashier, like you're dead. No, like I'm just saying that human being in general, that their job is consistent on memorizing small information and just telling it back.
Yeah.
that's not going to be enough. Personally, I will be more in the like it's really crazy, because at some point, like in the 90s and the 80s, you like people will say that you made it in life if you work in an office with a
Right.
suit. Today is the opposite. I think that handy people are gonna make it. I think that people with very, very high intelligence, emotional intelligence, will make it. Everything related to convincing people, leading people, everything related to how you talk in public, how you're able to be persuasive and to bring a team in a certain direction. Everything related to problem solving, like true problem solving, when there is like no real answer. Like, for example, like the biggest problem Tesla have today on their self-driving car is when you know that you're having an accident and you have the choice to kill like 3 people by turning the car around or killing the driver.
Yeah.
Who do you choose?
Yeah. I mean,
There's no...
I saw a video last time where someone fell from like on the road, and the Tesla just crashed into another car just to avoid that person.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see the challenge there, where
But because there is no good answer. Like,
Yeah.
like what? Like you will have a debate. Oh, but why do you need to kill 3 people in order to save the people driving the car? But the others, but I bought this car, so why do I need to die
Yeah.
if it can save me? So you will have always situations like this where only humans can take
Make a call,
decisions and take a call. So I'm betting a lot on those industries, everything related to basic needs, like to be in agriculture, to produce food, to like it's really crazy, but this is where I see potential now. For people to go, like just buy a land, farm it, and you should be good, because no one will just replace this. And being an entrepreneur, like to create value, you will be able to create a lot of value using AI instead of just counting on someone else to employ you because you can do basic stuff. So today, more than ever, I think that the competition is going to be very, very hard. Like we started with the competition of the world opening and Asian countries with low wages competing with Europe, with North America in general.
Like developers today.
Yeah, developers, call centers.
Yeah.
Like everything related to something that can be done from a distance is impacted today. Like,
Right.
Just look at the market after COVID. Before COVID, in IT, like you can be very like basic developer. You will find a job like that.
Right.
Today you can be very, very good, and there's a lot of very, very good people out there in India, in the Philippines, in China. Like I will maybe take more like the Philippines, because like it's a Western friendly country, like the Philippines.
Yeah.
And they are competing with like senior developers today, and they are bringing the price down. And that's just the new reality. You can't go back. Like that's just the new reality today.
Yeah. So you basically described, positions of leadership as being the future, or probably still protected because there's a lot of interactions. We had a discussion about this a few weeks ago. I told you that, it's going to be hard to replace sales because sales involved human emotions. Like you disagreed with me, but I can see where and why. But so someone who today has sales skills, what can he do, or what can he work on to just take benefit of that wave?
You will always need human interaction, like especially when you are selling something high ticket. I think that it's hard to just receive a call from a robot and just buy. So like everything related to personal branding, to be able to build a brand around you as a person or a salesman or your company, etc. Like that's exactly what will, that's what sale will be. I think at some point, people will buy only from people they trust.
Right.
And how can you trust someone today? It's basically on the internet. So our life is being a little bit tokenized. It's a little bit being like transformed into the digital world. And at some point, like we talked last episode about like WorldCoin and the way they will identify people. Like today, there are influencers out there that are AIs,
Right.
doing videos and doing photos and traveling the world, but they're not real and they have like tremendous following. So we are entering into an area where even like the most human being thing, being like just a human being having experiences, can be mimicked. And it can be done by AI, and that's why they want to create it. So, like for example, if you want to prove that you're a real human being, you will show that token, or don't know what protocol they will use, and that's how you can trust the person in front of you. So I think that, like as a salesman, your role in the future is not to convince someone to buy something at $500. Your role in the future is to have a personal branding around you and around what you do, and to gain the trust of people, and then the sales are going to come alone. I don't think that people today will just buy under pressure without documenting themselves about the product that they will buy, about the price, about the experience, about the reviews. So today it's way, way, way more difficult to just find someone in the street and to convince him to buy something ASAP. Like before, like what they can do, like they will just interact with you. You seem like a trustworthy person. You seem to know your product. You seem to give them a good offer. They will buy. And the limit of information prevented them from going further. Today, while you're talking to someone, what's he's doing?
He's Googling.
Okay, so you tell me about this. Okay, cool. And he's Googling. Okay, but he's giving me a better price. So that's what's happening today. Like the democratization of information is making it very hard to sell based only on your skills of sales. So like to have that skill is not enough. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's stay maybe in our topic, which is money on steroids. I see a lot of opportunities. You know, like Sofyan in one of our podcasts was saying, I see issues always as an opportunity, and I love this, you know,
mindset.
This mindset. Like, how do you see the opportunity today for someone who can basically leverage AI and make more money than he was making? So how can we do that?
Through sales, through being an entrepreneur today, I think that there is a lot of opportunities in AI because the costs are just going down with time. Before, you wanted to open any company, you will need a team, you will need service, like a customer service people, like answering phones, etc. Like for example, today you can have AI handling your inbound calls.
Right.
Hey, I didn't like your product, etc. You can train AI to give them a discount code and to apologize and to say like, okay, like just bring it back. We'll give you a discount code. Like you don't need to handle this anymore. So imagine the tremendous opportunities you can take if you don't need a full team on your payroll in order to do something very small. You can just be a carpenter today, and you can transform this company in a very professional company with a web presence. You can just shoot like 1 hour of videos. You upload it to an AI editor, and they will give you like edited videos. That took time before.
Yeah.
So it's just reducing the amount of effort you needed to do to sound professional in business. And I think this is the opportunity that we should take today. We should really be focused on giving a service that before only like multi-million-dollar companies could afford, because they can have the people, the trainers, the infrastructure to run that kind of business. Today, you can be a one-man show and you can have an amazing business. I will just give you an example, okay? CPA firms. CPA firms. Before you had a client, they will ask you a very picky question about.
Sorry, just to explain, maybe for those who don't understand, CPA is chartered professional accountant. So it's accounting firms.
Yeah, it's accounting firms. So today, for example, before you needed like CPAs, like accountants that have like their CPA titles to work on every single ask from the client and to answer like those questions. But 80% of those questions, you don't need a CPA to answer them. Like they are like very straightforward. So basically you can just have a knowledge base of like 80% of the questions. You can train a junior accountant, like not really a CPA, to handle those questions that people are asking you. That's his job. And your CPAs are just working on preparing tax filing, about like the high value tasks that they can perform. So you can have today someone very new, like a basic accountant, just type in the questions on the GPTs or like on a knowledge base, and he can give your customers an amazing service. Because what's the problem today with CPA firms? Like you call them and they are always busy, because like they just take all the calls from everyone and they don't have time for you. And after that, you're not happy because like you're waiting for 2 weeks for a basic question, and they don't have time to meet with everyone. But today, if you leverage AI, you can still answer those 80% of questions and reduce costs, improve quality, and you can be the #1 CPA firm in your city just by starting using AI in your firm.
Yeah. So the winners would be the ones who can leverage the technology, understand it. So for example, you gave the example of a carpenter, or let's say you are a CPA or you have a small company, like you're a plumber, right? Do you need to understand how AI works to be able to set up everything? Or you would go to an agency that would set up that for you and you will be ahead of everyone because your costs are low. You can basically interact with everybody at the same time and you can get more jobs?
Yeah. Let's take a plumber, okay? Like a plumber today, what's his job? Like to be plumbing, you know, like he needs to be doing the job. So that's hardly replaceable today, at least, okay?
Yeah.
So he needs someone taking the calls, because that's how his business is working today. People will call a plumber, like, hey, I need a plumber. Water is damaged in my house. So today you can have an AI responding to your calls, and after that they will just like, you can take automations like Zapier, for example, and you can create a booking.
Yeah.
Like you can do that today. So like from the call, we will take the informations, we will create a Zap, and we will create a booking. And while you're plumbing, you will just receive a notification about the booking being taken. So you are replacing maybe a 40,000 per year job, like 40,000 because you removed that cost from your company. So that $40,000 a year, maybe if you want to sell your company one day with that technology, someone is going to see it as highly scalable because I don't need a lot of agents taking the calls in order to scale my company. And also, since you're bringing $40,000 more profits in your company, that makes your company worth maybe 150K more because of that profit being made instead of paying someone taking the calls for you. So that's just a simple situation where you can optimize your company, reduce your costs, and one day if you want to sell your company, it's worth way, way more because it's easier to operate. You don't count on someone who can be sick, who can leave your company. You need to train him again. He's not happy one day, so he's not closing clients. Like, you can count on consistency and also have more profits. So when you sell your company, you will sell it for way more.
Here's a crazy thing. You even don't need to be a plumber. You can be the Uber of plumbing, have an agent. So let's say I'm thinking, entrepreneurs, they always think about, other ways to make money. And I'm thinking about this example. So you have an AI agent who would take a call. So he's talking to someone, and then that same AI will just contact other plumbers and talk to them and say, hey, I have this issue. Can you please go there? And of course, you're going to have to put in place like some contracts or whatever.
Yeah.
And then whoever accepts is booked,
the job.
And you just make money on top of that. So you charge $100 and then you pay the other plumbers $70.
Exactly.
It's basically you're an agent. You're running with 0 people.
Yeah.
And the only person would be you. And that can be duplicated in so many businesses, like so many businesses. And I can see the opportunity. So at the end of the day, the ones who will win are first the ones who can see the opportunity, the ones who will be faster, the ones who can understand it. And if they don't understand it, the ones who can find the people who understand it and help them basically leverage that. Now, the ones who are, let's say today in their 40s and 50s, so let's say I am an assistant. Okay. I work in a company, I make $40,000, and that company today has the ability to buy an AI agent for $100 a month and do my job. What can I do?
That's the big question. No one has an answer to that. Like I heard Elon Musk last time telling that at some point we will need to preserve the economy of the world to have a minimal wage to give everyone, because at some point AI will just do the job of everyone. And who will buy your cars? Who will rent your houses if no one has a job?
Universal income.
Yeah.
That's where I was getting. So it's great that you mentioned that. I had the idea at the beginning of the podcast, like just getting into that. I mean, obviously, we don't want to get into, the theories and everything. Like, we have our own opinion. We're not here to, make a political statement, but whatever. But there's some theories out there that say, this is how they are going to control the world, where you have AI doing everything, and then you will own nothing and be happy because they're going to pay you. You're going to be in your 15-minute cities. You're going to stay there. You don't need a car. A car will come to you. A Tesla with full self-driving capability just takes you from your home to the grocery store, or that Tesla can come from the grocery store, bring you everything. You don't need anything else. Let me ask this question. Do you think we are heading into this, which used to be like just a conspiration theory, and now it's taking place, and it looks like the future of the humanity?
I don't know. It's very hard to see what the what's coming, because at the end of the day, if no one has a job because AI is able to do it better than us, so where the money is gonna come from? Because like even those guys, like you will own nothing and be happy. They own Coca-Cola, they own car companies, they own Tesla, they own, people that control the world. They control, like BlackRock, for example, like they control maybe like.
Well, they control real estate. Like the number of single-family
Exactly.
homes that they own in the US is crazy.
Okay, but who will rent those homes if you don't have a job?
Humans, basically.
Exactly. So you can't just ignore humans and like just say like, okay, we don't need you anymore. I don't know what will happen, but what I can say is in our lifetime we will have the answer. Like it's not something that will happen 50 years from now or 100 years from now. I think it's something happening like in the 10 to 15 years. I tell a lot of people around me that only 5% of people will make it in every field. Like only the top performers will make it. Like think about like all the useless like jobs that we can have sometimes. Like
Are we talking government jobs?
Like just think about like all the jobs you had, etc. Like I'm sure like a lot of people that you remove them from there, nothing is gonna change. Like the added value is like zero.
Yeah, and it's not about the. Just to be clear, like
it's not about the person.
It's about the job itself. Like the job can be replaced.
Exactly. Like the person, like I have nothing against them. Like they are taking advantage of the situation. Like good for them.
The system is built like this.
The system is broken. But just think about like sometimes I just drive and I see someone in front of a construction site and his job is only to tell you to advance. Like, and I'm just looking at him and I'm like, you pass your full day just.
Yeah, and he's making 40, 50 bucks an hour.
Yeah, 40, 50 bucks an hour because there is a law somewhere saying that every construction site needs like security. But like what are the number of accidents that those people are preventing every year? Like, do we have a study on this? Like,
and do we have an AI that can do the job better?
AI can do job after that. Yeah. Like you just bring an AI with a camera, like he sees a car coming and he will just do like this. Like that's a very basic job that it's not worth $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Clearly. So all of those jobs where today it's a headache for entrepreneurs because like the law is just made like that. You can't pay people less than $15 an hour, for example, in Quebec, for anything, like basically anything. So at some point, the cost of developing an AI will be just inferior to the cost of hiring someone for 1 year, and it will just make perfect sense to purchase an AI to do things. Mm-hmm. So if I have a restaurant and I can like buy like the Tesla robots for like $20,000, and he can bring food to my clients.
Yeah.
So why should I keep paying someone to do it?
Well, this is already happening.
Yeah.
There's those machines that go around the restaurant and bring you your plate to your table.
Yeah, but you still need to pick up your plate, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the next step is like that Tesla robot will just put the plate in front of you, and it will be the same service that someone working at a restaurant is doing. So if it's costing $20,000, why should a restaurant owner not take it?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you are there to make money.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. People tend to bring, emotions and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm there to make money, to put food on the table for my kids. Talking about kids, you have 2 kids. I have 4. What is your plan with your kids? What are you telling them for the future
Yeah.
to take advantage? I know they're still young, but what is your plan if you thought about it?
Soccer players. No, my plan is to try, first of all, to not put them in front of screens, like zero.
No, yeah, definitely.
Like zero, because by not putting your kids in front of screens, they will beat 80% of the kids out
I
there.
agree.
Just you do this and you're doing an amazing favor to your kids. Develop their feelings, their guts about situations. Try to lead them to real life examples. To try to give them a situation where there is no clear answer, and like help them to build a personality is the best thing you can do to your kids, because those high paying jobs will always need a human being taking the decision, because you can't give, as we said, the nuclear weapon to AI. You can't give printing money on the Fed to AI. Those high paying jobs will just need very good human beings with capabilities of mixing the reason and emotion and intelligence emotion, like just to look at someone and know what he's thinking about. I think that's the best thing you can do to your kids while they are young, like to work on this. But like from a job perspective, like for me, I don't want to dictate anything to my kids, because I didn't like it from my parents. So I think that I will just encourage them to go to the fields that I said before, like everything related to handy jobs, entrepreneurship, agriculture, like everything related to being able to create value just by yourself is something that will never die, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll tell you about my plan. So my oldest is 14. She wants to be a doctor. I'm super against that, because I know for many people, having a doctor as a kid is the dream.
Yeah.
Not for me, for many reasons. One is doctors basically don't have a life. They work hard, they work by night, and especially as a woman, I'm like, you know what? Think about it. You don't have kids right now. You're gonna have kids in the future, so think about being a doctor. That's the first perspective. The second perspective, and we talked about it, is doctors are also being slowly replaced by AI. Like AI can interpret an X-ray today and tell you exactly what's happening. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like, hey, you have a broken bone. Do you need like 10 doctors in a hospital now just to interpret this? No. I'll give you another example. When I went back home, as you know, like I did a full blood test. I always do it back home. Like I have to pay for that, but at least I can do whatever I want. Not in Canada, because you have to request it, and if you're not sick, they will never do that for you. So I went there and asked for it. They didn't give me any interpretation because it was a lab. So I took that piece of paper written in French, took a picture of it, and uploaded it into ChatGPT. And I said, please interpret and tell me whatever you see as being a threat in my overall health. So gave me everything. Hey, your triglycerids, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, okay, how can I do now to correct this? And what are the actions I need to take to be in a better health in the future? And it gave me a plan. So basically replaced the doctor. I didn't need the doctor, and also replaced, whatever jobs that could tell me exactly what to do. Like if you're usually you have to go to a nutritionist, to have a proper plan. So give me the plan. Like, hey, stop eating this, stop eating that, eat less than this, less than that. So for my kids, again, the first thing is train them on leadership. And we're doing this through sports. Sports, they build a lot of, great skills in terms of human interactions, human leaderships. I can see my daughters, going in the right direction. The boys, as like they're still young, but that's going to be the first step. And the second step will be teach them how to invest smartly.
Yeah.
Okay. They're young. I want to expose them to riskier investments. As I told you, my daughter, she invested in Bitcoin and she's super happy with that. Like her money doubled. So I was like, oh, that's nice. I should put more money in it. But then also teach them how to protect those investments. Exactly what we were saying in our crypto podcast or episode where, hey, when it hits the ceiling, sell, take that money, invest somewhere else, like make your money work. Don't be lazy. Don't let it sit because anything can happen. And then it's up to them now. As you said, you can't control what they're gonna become, because usually whenever you tell your kids something, they're gonna do the opposite. Especially as a dad, they're gonna be fighting you and fight your how do you say that? Whatever. I lost the word, but you understood me. So yeah, it's understand the markets by understanding people. Know how to invest. Make sure you have something on the side where you can invest in a business, but also leverage the knowledge of AI, the IT knowledge. Like you don't need to be an expert, but you can just be someone who understands how to write prompts. That's one of the jobs of the future. Like writing prompts will be like a highly like job, because if you understand how the machine thinks, you are ahead of so many people.
Yes.
It's not your basic prompt that you write on ChatGPT and get to like a basic answer. Before closing this episode, I wanted to mention the universal paper clips game. I sent you that video.
The video.
I was mind blown. I was mind blown. I don't know who sent it to me, and he's like, you need to watch this. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was in French. He was like the trombone, universal paper clips, trombone, usine à trombone. And it started with like very basic stuff. So for people who don't know what the game is, it's a game that has been created in 2017. It's basically a paper clips factory that you manage, and it's run by AI. And you try, like your objective is to produce as many paper clips as you can. And there's like very different things that you need to care about, like the cost of paper clips, the sale price, because the more you produce, the less you're going to be making as a profit. So you start slowly, and then at the end you discover that paper clips factory is basically a big brain that is taking control of the world, and at the end of the day doesn't care about humans. And I can see the threat in AI tomorrow, where if you give an objective to a machine, which is, for example, make this country safe. And the AI would be like, okay, in order to make it safe, I need to kill all the threats. Because humans are usually the source of conflicts. So in order to make it safe, let's just get rid of human.
Them. Yes.
So I encourage everyone to go on YouTube, check the videos about universal paper clips. And maybe try to play the game, but I mean, it takes so much time. I do not recommend that, but it is something that people should definitely look into to understand what the threat of AI is.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, Taki, thanks again for telling us about AI and what your thoughts are.
Big pleasure, you too, man. About the paper clips, etc. That video, I think it's really started reflection in my mind, and that's why I'm reading the book. And I encourage everyone to read that book too, Genesis. I think it's the most advanced book in AI today in 2024. I truly recommend everyone to read it and to start doing actions today to profit from this technology instead of being a victim of it. And the victims are already happening right now. Like while we're talking, a lot of companies are closing.
Yeah.
Some departments that can be replaced by AI. People like working as a journalist are losing their jobs. That's a very disturbing technology. It's not something small, and you don't want to be a victim from that. So start grinding today, start hustling today in order to be safe in the future.
Yeah, very wise advice. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon.